to another Video Games to the Max, and this is apparently number 20 if you count all the shows together. Uh, with me today is, as always, Mr. Mark Morrison.
Howdy.
And of course, this is the official Full On Game Zone podcast, and man, it's been a little bit. Again, one of those not supposed to happen uh, weeks off, but what's been happening with you in that?
A lot of division.
A
How
lot
about
of
you?
division, huh? Yeah. Well, lots of. I finally beat that one part of Kingdom Hearts that I was stuck on, so now I'm at the final boss, and now I'm stuck at that, and I'm gonna give it a couple of shots tomorrow, and if I don't beat him, I'm probably just going to watch the secret ending that you apparently unlock. The new secret ending that they made for the HD remix, and then I'm gonna move on to 2 because I have to play 2 for Randy's backlog busting project thing. So, which I never actually beat 2. I got to like a certain part in 2, and then I never went on after you get through that laborious tutorial.
I beat 2, but I have like very vague memories of it. Like I remember specific worlds of 2, but I don't remember
Yeah,
the story at all.
yeah.
Because
I
it's
remember like
nonsense.
there being the pirates one
Yeah.
and Mulan and stuff like that, but I don't remember the story that much.
I remember
Uh,
Tron is pretty cool. That's
yeah,
about it.
Tron's awesome. Yeah. Uh, so that division, how
Yeah.
is it?
I really like it. It's actually probably the first like cover shooter I've actually really enjoyed. I've played others, like I've played like Gears of War and Uncharted, but I never really got into them. Uh, Especially Gears of War. Like I think I played one. I played all 3 of them, or the 3 big ones, and I beat 2 of them, and I didn't like them.
Wow, you went all the way to beating them and you didn't like them.
I remember really disliking one. I disliked one at the end specifically. That like last boss fight was insanely stupid and hard, and I think I beat 3, but I had no memory of it, and it was just kind of like sheer boredom that I beat it.
Oh wow.
But
After,
yeah, the Division has pretty good shooting, some weird network instability, uh, good loot mechanics, like a good foundation, like much better than I think Destiny had when it launched. Like there's some stuff obviously in the Division that works better than Destiny, and some stuff that works worse. Um, but yeah, I think it's a great game. I finally was able to play with some people earlier tonight, and that was a lot of fun. That was hard but fun. Uh, yeah. What do you want to know?
well, so how do they do? How many people do you have? Do you have a party, or is it just? I'm guessing you play by yourself, but
Well,
how do they
that's
have a limit to the party? I guess.
the player limit or the group limit is 4. But so you can invite people in, or you can just do matchmaking. But the interesting thing is when you go outside, when you just want to play solo, it is an instant game. Like the only time you ever see anyone else in that game is if you're in a safe house, or if like you have a friend playing the game on your friends list, then you can see them kind of walking around, and you can like you can group up with them pretty easily. But they're like when you just play normally, you see no one else ever for the most part.
That's really weird, considering it's an MMO. You'd think you'd see all the other people playing.
It's not an MMO. I don't think it's. I wouldn't qualify it as an MMO. Honestly, I'd qualify it as an online action game or like online action RPG.
So you would not.
Like, there's
Uh,
nothing massive about this game, and
okay.
I think at most you can get about 15 people together in a safe house, and that's about it. Because
Okay.
I think there are a bunch of different servers of this game altogether. Like they all feed into one massive server, but everyone is on different like server racks or somewhere. So I mean, there are probably like let's say 100,000 people playing this game. I've only ever seen 30.
Wow. That's insane. So Yeah, I've heard that apparently do. So, how do you like the missions? Are they varied or?
No, I mean that's kind of one problem I would say is they're very stereotypical. Like one mission will be just be like go rescue the hostages, and in every area of New York there'll be a like rescue the hostages mission, or there'll be a protect the supplies mission, and every like uh, little subdivision of the like the city will have that. So you can go do that. Um, some of the story missions are pretty intricate though, because you have like a bunch of boss battles and like timed missions or timed requirements and stuff that really aren't that complicated. Like I've died a bunch, but like there's no real penalty for dying except for you have to go back. You have like you respawn pretty much outside of like a boss area, and that's about it.
Wow.
But the shooting actually does feel very good. Like that's the one thing that's good is if you aim for at a headshot for a guy and you hit the trigger, he'll get a headshot and he'll most likely die if it's a critical hit. Or one of the groups is called the Cleaners, and they wear like flammable tanks on their backs because they have flamethrowers, and you can shoot the tank and it'll explode.
Wow. That's pretty awesome.
That's pretty cool. The only other two things I'll say is the dark zone is super weird. Um, because I got into an area I shouldn't have earlier, where I hit a level 30 dark zone and I'm level 20. I was level 18 at the time. I didn't realize that at the time, so I entered and I immediately got shot by an enemy, and he one shot at me to death.
Yikes.
And then I noticed the map. I was like, the level breakdown was like level 29 to 30, and I'm like, oh, that would do it. And the other thing I'll say is hacking around that game is pretty fun.
Why is that?
Because you can see it can see like unfinished areas of Central Park and like other parks they'll be adding probably with DLC or the season pass.
So I've heard that you can apparently go off the map too.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Is
Yeah.
you basically do a ledge jump into like past a fence, and then you have to do two wall glitches to like get out of the wall, like to like roll into the wall and through it, and then you get like see that like all these different areas that are unfinished as hell, but you can explore around and just see what's going on. But the entire thing is instance, like the game, so it doesn't really matter. Like you don't see anyone else on there.
Wow. So I've is the so how does the leveling up work? Does it work like Destiny with equipment, or does it?
Uh well, you have the three tiers, like green, blue, purple. Then I think orange is epic or like legendary or something. I don't know how the breakdown is. Uh, you gain new levels. It doesn't really matter that much. Like every 5 levels, you may get like a new skill set or like a new skill slot or something. But the main thing you level up is your base. Like when you there are the medical wing, the tech wing, and the security wing. You have to get resources to level those up. And once you do, you unlock skills for it. Like I unlocked the tech wing, and I got a sticky bomb uh, skill. And you can change out skills anywhere in the map. Like it doesn't matter at all. So you're not like tied to any like one skill or perk or anything. So
Well, that's
yeah,
yeah. So there's not a class.
no, God no.
Okay.
Like I actually think it might work better if there was like maybe like slightly more defined classes, but nothing as strict as Destiny. But like I play differently than everyone else in the group was playing earlier tonight, and that was still fine.
So I mean, so how do you play that's different than everybody else?
I don't have a heal. Like you have med packs, but everyone I was playing with had a heal skill or like this support station skill, and I was running around with a sticky bomb and a turret.
Nice.
And you only have, I think, at max you only have 4 skill slots. But there are about There's I think 15 skills total. So you really have to like see like pick which one you want to do or which one feels like the best to you and stick with it. I mean, you can change it obviously, but why change it if it's not broken?
So, is does it? So, do you feel like? Do you think that this way, the way they do it here, is better, or do you think that the way they do it in Destiny is better as far as making you feel like what you're doing matters?
I think this game for sure. The biggest thing that this game has going for it is it's a small world, but it's a actual world. Like Destiny felt like a bunch of menu options to go to places that felt very disparate. Like go to Venus, it's like all right, why? Uh, and in this place, in this game, you're going all around New York, and there are different level requirements for New York, obviously, or like city like sections of it. But it's all on like one map, and the map is huge, but it feels very connected to you.
Ah, okay, that makes sense, sort of. I mean,
And there's
yeah,
no
go.
load time except for when you enter safe houses, or like when you fast travel, obviously. But
Right.
you can literally walk across that like one side of the map to the other without hitting a load time if you really wanted to.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. Do
Uh,
you? Does it?
yeah.
So how are the bosses?
They're fine. Uh, mainly, I fire a sticky bomb at them. It explodes and takes out some of their armor. I throw up my turret. It aggroes them, and I walk behind them and start shooting them in the head, and that works pretty well. Uh, there are only a few different types of enemy classes, I would say. Like there's a normal enemy, like I guess a close range enemy who like who tries to run up on you or has a shotgun. There's a like a grenader enemy, and a sniper, and the snipers are the worst. Uh, but
Because you
yeah,
can't see them.
well, they hit hard. Like if you get shot by one, like half your health is gone instantly.
Oh, jeez.
Uh, right now I'm carrying around a pretty good assault rifle, an epic assault rifle I bought, and a very low powered sniper rifle. And I've gotten better sniper rifles, but they don't have the fast shot that this one does. Like I can pull the trigger; it only has 10 rounds, but every time I pull the trigger, it can shoot. Unlike like a sniper rifle that you have to like reload with every bullet, or like this thing is fast, so that's why I kept it for 15 or for 5 levels more than I should have.
Oh, okay. That's well.
Uh, and gear is broken down into armor, and the three other things would be like DPS, like how much damage you do, health, and then your skill bonus power or skill power, like it increases that. And
Okay.
there are trade-offs, like if you get some, though most armor will have trade-offs, like if you it'll do like massive boost to your damage, but it might lower your health a little or stuff like that. And now the gear I'm finally getting now can all be modded pretty well, so that's good.
Oh, okay. So I mean, does so is the there's no raid right now?
Not yet, no. Apparently, when you hit level 30, you get daily quests to unlock, which is something I really kind of want to do.
Do you like the Dark Zone or?
Well, not when I hit the level 30 zone, but it seems okay. Like all the enemies there are pretty overpowered, not overpowered, but stronger than normal enemies because there are three I guess types of enemies. There's the normal guys who have red health bars. Uh, Stronger enemies who have purple health bars who have armor, and then bosses who are yellow like have yellow health bars. And every enemy I've seen in the Dark Zone is a purple guy, and they take a while to go down. Like you can take on one pretty easily, but taking on a group of 5 or more is not fun.
Yeah, I'd imagine not.
So that's why their insistence, or them going like group up if you go in the dark zone is pretty apt because you can take down a lot of guys with a few people on your side.
Yeah, I mean, so it, it seems like you're really enjoying it, and
Yeah, I'd be playing it right now if we weren't doing this thing.
well, so if say people that haven't played Destiny or not big into like the whole, maybe they're a little bit scared about, oh well, what happens if I level up and my friends, they keep playing and whatever. How do you feel like this goes to those kind of people that are sort of maybe new to this kind of thing?
I think it's pretty. I actually think it's pretty approachable. I don't think Destiny was at all, honestly. Like that game was pretty confusing to me. Granted, I played it a year after it came out, but all the different credit or like the different uh, money you had, or like the credits and stuff, or like the whole idea of light and stuff confused the hell out of me, and still kind of does. Like this game is very approachable. Uh, I think it's just good. Like I'm kind of surprised because I've been making fun of this game for months.
Right, yeah, see, there you go. Even someone that has been making fun of the game can be steered wrong. Um,
Like you talked about getting it like a red box or like renting it for a day, and I don't think that'll work. I think you might actually get into it.
yeah, that's what I'm
Afraid of?
worried about. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of, but I'll have to wait until I can get some income and be able to get it. But I'm interested, obviously, from what you're saying and other things that I've heard. It seems like people are liking it more than at least the original Destiny for now. So,
Yeah, like I got a feeling like I think some of the same problems might creep up into this game, like about as far as like high level content goes, or stuff like that, or like how really much they can expand the map. Because I mean, it's just New York.
right.
There's not like a bunch of like weird stuff going on in it, or like the setting is just going to be the same kind of place over and over. So that might be a problem, I think, but it's at least a pretty cohesive world.
So, what do you say to like I heard that people were saying, well, this game's not going to have a lot of longevity because, like you said, there's not. It's very grounded and being human, unlike Destiny, where they can kind of come up with whatever they want because they're aliens. So, do you think that there's going to be a problem with the extra content?
No, I mean there are four, I guess gangs in the game right now. They could always add more or add like different enemy variety. Like, I mean, it's always going to be shoot the guy in the head, but
Right.
that's fine for me because like I think Borderlands was a game that like really irritated me because you never knew where the weak spot was for an enemy. It's like it's always going to be the mouth, and it's like I don't know where the mouth is in this thing.
Right. Yeah.
Uh, like I think the gangs in this game are there's some army like PMC thing I haven't even seen yet. There's like the high level gang. Uh, there are the cleaners who are the fire guys who shoot them in the back and they explode. There are random riot gang like a riot gang essentially. And then the fourth gang is called the Rikers, and they were from like Rikers Island. And that's my biggest hang up with the game is the Rikers, honestly.
Why?
Because it should have been a gang of clone Thomas or William P. Rikers from Star Trek. That would have made the game so much better.
Well, you're gonna. Looks like you have to wait for that Star Trek show because they apparently can't air it until after the movie comes out.
Yeah, I have pretty mixed opinions in that show.
Well, I mean, at least you're getting a Star Trek show, so I mean,
Hopefully, it'll be more like DS9 and not like Enterprise.
yeah, let's hope for better things,
Because
obviously.
I got a feeling they're gonna want like an action adventure show, and it's like no, Star Trek was not designed that way.
Yeah, you can make the movies that way, but like the show is gonna be what it is, you know?
Like you can have the occasional action adventure episode, that's fine, but
Right.
trying to build the show around that's not gonna work.
Well, there you go. a lot about the division there, so hopefully you're interested and you listened to what what Mark had to say, and you're as excited as everybody else about the game, seemingly. So,
Also been playing Sky, and that's kind of busted. That's about it.
gotta love where they make this big deal about a port of the first game, and then it's busted. But I mean, are they gonna patch it at least, or have
I
they?
guess they patched most of the issues people had with the AMD chips, but my problem is one of the enemies won't die.
Oh, that's not good. you
Yeah.
kind of need you kind of need the enemy to die so you can move on in the level.
Also, that game is just not aged well at all. Like, when it came out in 2002, I think, it was great, but I can't put myself in that mindset from 14 years ago.
Why do you say that?
Like, they don't explain anything about like the UI, like what the stats are. Uh, I feel like going into the item world is incredibly arcane.
Yeah,
Uh, like they explain it, and I still don't know what the hell's going on. I just keep running to the exit. Uh,
that's what I felt in 5. I was like, why am I having to go to this world to?
like I don't see what the problem is with just buying new gear. Like every other game does it. It's fine.
Yep.
Uh, the story's fine. Like it's still well acted and well voiced and stuff, but I just don't think that game has aged particularly well compared to like something like. I mean, this is newer, but like Valkyria Chronicles that came out in I think 2007. Like when it came to PC, it was like, wow, this is still like really good. And
Right.
this game is not so much. And they're different games, obviously, but they're still kind of strategy, like tactics games.
Yeah. That. I don't know. I kind of had the same thing too when I went backwards. I was kind of like, okay, this is cool to kind of see how they started, but this feels really. Yeah, I agree with you. Feels
Like
kind of outdated.
archaic, I would say.
Yeah.
Like it's still
Cause
fun. Like if you're a fan of the series, it's still fine. But like this game is only for new people or for existing fans, I would say.
so definitely not buy the. Would you say that if you have a PS3, it's worth it more to get the PS3 version, or does that matter? Or
I don't see like new people getting into this game at all. Honestly, like I think it's for only existing fans.
right, yeah, because there's already the new one out there. If you want to if you want to get into the series, I guess.
And
You
I
know
know that
they.
I think the series has gotten more convoluted along the way. So it's like, dear God.
Yeah, because they make allusions to the other games, and I was kind of like, well, this is above my head, but uh, whatever gets them through, I guess. it had enough of the new story that I was like, okay, not. I'll get it eventually. I'm guessing.
I'm just
So
waiting to get that. I'm just waiting for them to port over that Prinny, Can I Get the Panties Dude game, the
yeah,
PSP.
the two of them. They had two of them.
They were not.
So
They actually weren't that bad. They were hard, but they weren't that bad.
I remember liking them. Like I didn't even know anything about this guy, but I was like, okay, cool. I'm playing as a penguin.
Yeah, well, colorful art style, pretty good. Like pretty good gameplay.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing too bad on that end. Well, as I mentioned, playing Kingdom Hearts 1.5 Remix, the first game, I was stuck at this one part in Hollow Bastion. I got all the way to the end, and now I'm basically in that 3-part boss battle that you have to do, and frickin' Ansem with his stupid guardian killed me right when I was like almost about to kill him. Pissed me. Because he has this, and on proud mode it's worse. Like he has this dumb attack that will make the stupid guardian like take control of you. And I don't remember it being, because I never played it on proud. I always played it on normal, so I don't remember it being like this thing that could just really kill you. And yeah, it was. I have been able to dodge him the entire game, and then friggin' just.
What's the worst boss fight you've seen in the game?
in that game
No,
or?
in any game, I would say.
Oh Jesus. Man,
What?
I can't think right now of.
I can think of a good one. It was the last fight of Vagrant Story.
Was
The boss had a attack that would essentially kill you in one hit, and you could counter it. You had to counter it, or else it would kill you. And the only way to counter it would be like this one uh, defense that would regain your health by half. So you would it would hit you, and you'd get half your health back.
Jeez.
But the timing was super specific, and it was like in a very long cutscene. So it's like had to be paying attention for the little exclamation point to pop up when you did it.
Wow. That seems rather annoying. But yeah, and then I've been playing this game that I got to review called, which apparently has two 3DS games, the first one and the second one, and then there's also two games for the Vita, and then there's this game which is also coming out for Vita, but I think it's coming later, or I don't know if it's out now or is that later, but I have the PS4 version. It's called Senran Kagura Estival Versus. And it's basically, it also has an anime, like a 12 episode anime. So it's basically like Dynasty Warriors, but there's like 27 different anime girls, and basically it's just a game with boobs. Like, there's really no other way to explain it, and apparently this series knows itself well. It knows that's what pretty much it gets you in with fan service, even though I seriously do not think I would pay $40 for this, unless you're a fan of the series, because this is certainly not something you want to play in front of almost anyone. Like the opening scene has like this girl bend over so you can look at her panties, and then she tells the other girl to like slap her ass or something, and then she wants that same girl to call her a dumb bitch, and
I hope you're taking screenshots.
I I probably should just.
You need to have evidence to back this up when you review it.
And the opening is pretty much like them dancing in bathing suits, basically, so you can see them all, who basically all of them have the same size big boobs. It's just like, wow, we could not get any more fan service in this thing, and that's in the first, I want to say like 20 minutes of the game, so I don't even know what's. I mean, like there's a ton of like the actual game part of it is, it's Dynasty Warriors. It's the levels are sort of short, but you just keep doing combos, and you have special attacks, and you can transform into this special. Every one of the girls has like a special transformation thing, and basically it does a Sailor Moon where it shows you their ass, and then it does the whole transformation thing in like a magical girl way. So like this girl named Yumi uses like a fan, so she goes from having like regular clothes to like a kimono thing. So she's like a real fangirl, I guess, or whatever. And I mean, it just keeps going like that. It's interesting, I'll say. But again, if you're one of those that has a family around, like I certainly got to make sure I don't play this around my kid. Thankfully, she is of the same gender, so it's not something like I got to worry about too young to have feelings or whatever. But it's just kind of like one of those. I certainly wouldn't want my wife walking in and going, "What the hell is this?" So I already had that problem before when I was watching Maria on watching Japanese wrestling, and Maria Kanellis they're basically zoomed in on her ass, and gotta love Japanese television.
Imagine how much better that game would be if it was all males instead,
Oh
and they just
God.
focus on the junk.
You know what's so weird though is like you think that they would be equal opportunity offenders at least with the grunts or whatever that you're fighting because they're all women. because the clothes tear off. If you keep hitting them, the clothes tear off. So you think that at least they would in the enemy sort of way they would have at least males or something. But
It just reminds me of a mega quintet.
yeah, sort of. Do the clothes tear off in a Mega
Yep.
Quintet?
Not
Yeah.
not with your enemies, but with the singers, they do.
Yeah, with
They get
yours do too if you actually get hit.
yeah, they get battle damaged, and it's like, all right, whatever.
And the other mode in the game is so that aside from being able to play online, is so that you can take pictures of the different girls and you can change their outfits and Lord.
You know what you really need to see if this game has trance vibrator support. I bet it does. All good games do.
Well, let's get on to the news of the day, which there's plenty of it, and we might as well start with probably the big news, which I know a lot of people do not care about this, or it's almost sort of split to the whole we care about VR, we don't care about VR. Well, now the cheapest, if you can call it that, cheapest VR on the market is out there. If you don't include like some of the mobile stuff, like the Samsung Gear only costs $200, but
That
if
doesn't
you
count.
yeah, if you want some of the which I almost would have got for free, but I just decided not to wait on the S7 and just got my Note 5, which works out better for me. But the PSVR is going to cost $399, but instead of telling you right there in the actual, well, they didn't tell us, instead of telling the people that went to this meeting at GDC, they waited until afterwards, which is kind of what seems to happen in all these reveals. You find out more stuff later. Sony UK winds up telling everybody that, oh yeah, you need the PlayStation camera, and that costs $60.
I
And oh
got
yeah,
one.
yeah, you got one.
I
did
got one
not
for
have
free.
one. I don't know what bundle you got, I guess, but
No, it was just when I bought my PS4. They're like, you get a camera free, and I'm like, all right, whatever. I guess I'll take it.
yeah,
Which,
that,
in retrospect, I'm glad, because I wouldn't buy this stupid thing without it.
yeah, because now you. But what do you need the camera for though? Other than, I guess you
Uh,
can't do Twitch on it without the camera.
no, you can. I mean, I never turn it on when I stream out anyway.
Oh,
So it
that's
doesn't matter.
so you can see yourself, right?
Yeah, you can do voice chat. Like it has a microphone built in. Uh, you can sign in with it, like your login, and you can do voice commands like on the menus and stuff.
Oh, okay, that's cool. So it's sort of like the Kinect or whatever.
It's like a lower rent version, I would say, of that.
Uh, oh, it's sort of okay, I guess.
Yeah, for free, it's fine.
Yeah, for free. Yeah, it's obviously for free. But if you got to pay $60, and you also got to have the PS Move controller.
That I don't
So,
have, so oh well.
uh, so yes, so this could end up costing you if you buy everything separately. Now they are going to come with a bundle, which I wonder if they're going to comp the price of one of the things, or if they're just going to charge you.
I would say for a bundle, it'll probably be $450
You think 450?
flat. Yeah.
I think it'll wind up being 500 because those Move controllers.
Well, it depends on how many you get. Like if you just get one, I could see.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
could see 450.
also that the move controllers have been around for a while. Like they're not exactly a new technology.
Yeah, but didn't they? They didn't change it at all for the VR thing. It's just
No, I think it's just a move controller.
okay. Well,
I
there you
think.
go. I mean, it makes sense if you see it why you need the Move controller, and especially why you need the camera. But you know, I think it still would have been on them to certainly tell you straight up, you need this, and if you buy it separately and not in the bundle, it's going to cost around $520, something like, or at least $500.
They should also tell you need a PS4.
Well, I mean, that's yeah, because you know, they're sort of made it seem like, it's supposed to be this thing that's by itself, and then if you don't know for some reason that you got to have a PS4 for it to work, then so do you think that the price is fair, or should they have gone at least 350 or?
No, I always thought it was gonna be $400. So this line's like directly up into what I thought. Like I knew it wouldn't be cheaper, and I knew it couldn't be more expensive than like the price of the PS4 itself. So
Yeah, certainly.
this is what I thought.
And I mean, you're looking at what, a little bit more than the Vive if you buy everything, including the PS4. So, I mean,
I mean, it's
yeah,
technically more than the Vive, but you also have to have a PC with the Vive. So
yeah, it's certainly the cheapest VR thing on the market. As far as games go, there isn't a ton of them. You can use the PSVR as a way to play your PS4 games though without the TV, which is interesting. Do you think?
sit in bed.
Yeah, do you think people are actually gonna do that then? Like, you think?
I would be more into that if it was a movie experience. Because Oculus has done that, and that sounds like the most interesting to me. Is like just lying in bed watching like a huge screen in front of your eyes, like The Matrix or something.
Well, I'd imagine they would eventually have Netflix and all that stuff work with it.
You'd hope.
So, I mean,
Why?
you're right. Yeah,
Why should they have Netflix tied onto the Vive or something?
I would imagine Netflix wouldn't want to tie itself to one thing. They just
They never do.
Yeah, they just want to make it to where. So right now, what they have listed here, and this is what I'm looking at as far as, and they have comfort levels associated with this. So there's Adrift, which is like that game
Space
where
game.
you're the astronaut.
Didn't that just get delayed also?
Yeah, it says March 28th on here.
Okay, I meant well, I thought it got delayed to 2017. So there you go.
All of this is, well, that might be the regular version. They might have made sure that they made the VR version. Like, I'm sure that that all those rumors about damn it, why can't I think of the name of the game right now? Frickin' that game that you and Daniel are obsessed with right now.
No Man's Sky.
Yes. No Man's Sky is gonna have VR, but it's gonna come later. So there's an Adventure Time game that's supposed to come out. Project Cars, Defense Grid 2 VR edition, Elite Dangerous, Esper 2, Eve Valkyrie, which is the one that everybody keeps, that's supposed to be the pack-in, I think. And was it The Vanishing of Ethan Carter is going to be VR, VR Tennis, Pinball FX, the Rock Band VR that will come at some point.
You need pinball. You need the pinball arcade also.
Yes, and
you need to be in mode where you are the pinball.
Nice. Oh wait, this is apparently this is for Oculus, not for PSVR. So I'm looking at the wrong thing. But there's apparently not that many games for it. I think I was listening to something that was saying there was 3 or 4. So not a whole lot. There's that Golem game and a few other things. It's not. There isn't a whole lot there for it right now, which is weird because even though they did announce 50 games by the end of 2016, so I think right now if you're this doesn't come out till October, by the way, so they'll definitely have more games for it by then. But I think if you're a gamer and you're wanting this for the gaming experience, I think maybe you wait. Maybe till Christmas or something, and you find out what's really out there. I don't know what you think. If you had the money, would you get it at day one, or are you waiting?
I'd probably get the PSVR over the other two right now, just because it's cheaper. I mean, if I had infinite money, I'd get all three, honestly. But
Right.
it's cheaper. You don't need to have like another computer to run it. That's the big thing I would say is like I got a feeling a lot of people are going to buy the Oculus and not going to have the computer to run it on.
You would hope that it says on the packaging you need to have a certain computer or something.
Yeah, but more like the general populace isn't going to read that. They're going to know what that is. It's like the Oculus is going to require a 980. People are going to be like, I bought my computer this year, so it'll be fine. It's like, no, it won't.
Yeah, because only certain computers are able to run it. So if you're sitting there trying to do it with a laptop, not gonna
Yeah.
happen. You know, make sure you have a desktop that's pretty powerful, and even then, you gotta make sure it meets all those specs, which is that's what you avoid with the PSVR. So
Yeah,
that's
that'll be the big thing, honestly. I think even if like this thing isn't going to be as good of a VR experience as the other two, it's still going to be more. I think more mass market appeal.
so. What do you think about that possibility of just? I mean, for us, I don't think it's a big deal, but like for those people that have families, and you're sitting there going, okay, well now I'm gonna be into this thing where I'm kind of shut off from the world, and it's not like when you're playing a game, you kind of still have everything around you. I wonder how that's gonna like work in like family situations and all that. And just understanding that you're really tied to this thing, and you're kind of I don't know.
Well, eventually the Sony will announce the PlayStation sensory deprivation tank.
Yeah, I'm sure waiting for that. But so there you have it. You have all the information that's out there now, at least, so that whenever October comes, everybody can make that decision about if they're going to get PSVR or not. I'm sort of interested, but I think I'm still going to wait. I was sitting there going, man, I'm done. Now I'm done. I have all the systems. Of course, we got to wait for whatever the hell the next is going to be. But uh, now it's like, man, that's another $400 investment you got to make for this thing. I don't know. Do you think how fast do you think we see price drops on these things?
I think is going to last a pretty long time. I don't know about the Vive, but I think the Rift is going to come down pretty quick actually. Uh, I don't know why. Like they said, like when they announced that thing, well, like the Kickstarter was like, oh, this is supposed to be a mass market price and all that crap. It's like $600 is not a mass market price for most people, like
Yeah,
at all. Uh, so I think that's going to be the one that tries to go down, like to maybe the PlayStation VR price, but those things are going to be expensive for a long time because they are using pretty cutting edge technology to like cram all this crap into like a headset.
right. Yeah, especially the PSVR because they won't have a reason to really cut the price for a while because their competition's higher.
Until
So
the HoloLens comes out and destroys the world.
yeah, that's gonna be the thing. I mean, you never know. It could. I mean, we already found out that AMD is doing VR. Well, considering how
Yeah,
they do computer chips.
I read that like their little press release, and I was like, this thing sounds like it's going to cost $2,000 because it's supposed to be wireless, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, that they're like it's going to be wireless. They said it's going to be like a fusion of VR and ARG. Like it's going to be like a HoloLens and an Oculus Rift and wireless, and I'm like, good luck with that.
wow, that sounds like a lot to just be putting out there in one thing and saying, "Oh, yeah."
That's why I said it's going to cost like $2,000 or something. It's like that'll be for like the super rich or something who don't want to busy themselves with plebeian Oculus Rift.
Yeah, it's so plebeian, guys. Let's all go that way and just we're all gonna spend $2,000 on this thing.
And then they'll make like a gold, like a 24 karat gold edition, and Kanye West will buy it
So see that.
and say he invented VR.
Yep. Watch him do it too. It's ridiculous. But alright, so moving on from the VR talk for now. Well, actually they're making a Star Wars experience for PSVR. Which
I smell interactive movie.
yeah, that's what it seemed like. It seemed like a little demo or whatever. It's it's a PSVR exclusive Star Wars Battlefront game. So
Okay.
yeah. And they will have a cinematic mode with the PSVR, which will let you obviously play the games with the PS4 controller, and then you can watch videos and stuff. So I assume like you can watch YouTube with it and stuff like that. So that's cool. You can enjoy 360-degree photos and videos if you capture them yourself, I guess. So yeah, I think that's kind of neat. Like that's one of those things you can show somebody and say, hey, look at this, watch this video, and like turn around in your head while you're watching it. So your that game that you were waiting for that you got for free during the VGAs last year, now coming to PS4 and Steam for $15.
Shadow Complex.
Yes, Shadow Complex. I'm sorry.
Maybe we should have mentioned that. Yeah, I'll buy it on Steam, and I may buy it on PS4. I'll buy it on Steam
just so you don't have to use the Epic launcher.
Fucking Epic launcher, yeah.
Hate that launcher so much.
It's not even a bad launcher. It's just unnecessary. That's the thing.
There you go.
I would actually be more interested in it if it was just a bad launcher. But the fact that it is actually functional, it just has nothing on it, that's actually worse to me.
That's just funny to me. Like, I just do not want to have to use this thing, so.
That's why I almost didn't take Far Cry Primal, because it was tied to the Uplay launcher. It's like, oh Christ, no.
Damn you. So does it really make you have to launch Uplay every time?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I just have it running constantly now, or when I was playing Primal. But it's just, one more icon on the screen.
One more thing that runs.
Yeah.
And what if Uplay just decides to crap out? Then you're screwed.
Well, that's what the Epic launcher was doing. That was the problem I had with it, actually. Is like it would sometimes become like a massive system hog, and I'm like, why?
Yeah, that just sounds so awesome.
Watch, they'll bundle the launcher with the Steam version.
God. Oh, you gotta have both of them. You gotta have Steam and the freaking Epic launcher.
That's what Ubisoft does. Like when you buy like Assassin's Creed 4 or like Syndicate, it just it's just like the Uplay launcher. It's like great.
Still can't escape you.
They have to have those games on Steam because no one will buy it otherwise.
Right? Yeah. I wonder how long it's gonna take Microsoft to do that.
Well, I'm still surprised EA has their Origin thing going on.
They must be doing well enough that they took it off. So.
But my always argument against that is think about how much better you could be doing.
No, you're right. Totally.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But, they're going to be stubborn until it's shown that it doesn't work, and who knows?
They still won't care.
Right. Yeah. Microsoft, especially, is still not going to care because they're really trying to make this Windows 10 Live thing a deal. Speaking of a deal, if you don't have cable and you're looking to, which is something that I'm really interested in because I'm really considering this Comcast is getting way too expensive, and I'm really considering getting this PlayStation Vue. They have pretty much all the channels that I sort of watch, and the thing that I like over the Sling thing is that it has DVR. So for $30 a month, you can get 55 channels or even up to 45, and you can get 100 channels. And they now include Disney and ESPN. That was exclusive to Sling before, and now they're going nationwide with it. Where I think they're not going to actually have the channel for Fox, ABC, and NBC though. I think it's only on demand. Where right now I think the channel is available in certain markets. Like I'm just lucky Miami is one of the first markets, so they have it like it's supposed to be. Um, right now, actually, I don't have ABC. I have CBS, NBC, and Fox on the thing that I'm looking at. So uh, I know that you have cable.
Yeah, I don't watch
Uh,
it. Hell, I'm lending a box to my neighbor right now, who's currently incarcerated.
Jeez. Uh, so would you be if you said I don't want cable anymore, but I still kind of want to have TV? Would this interest you?
For me, no, because I use BitTorrent, but
Ah,
for normal people, I could see it, being useful,
yeah.
especially if they are heavy PlayStation users. Like, sure.
The only thing that sucks is like for me, uh, like my mom and I could not watch TV at the same time because you cannot have one PS4 and one PS3
Oh
using
yeah,
the service at the same time. You can have like Chromecast using it or your phone if you have an iPhone or whatever, but you apparently that's so weird that you cannot have a PS3 and a PS4. But I get it. They don't want to run into this problem like Hulu and Netflix where you have people stealing uh,
password.
the password and then they get to use it wherever they want, and it's understandable because it's they're paying a high price for all this stuff and they want to make sure that they're getting paid for it. So I can see why they want to do that, but I'll have to let everybody know, I guess, if I wind up getting this. But I also have to pay a $160 early termination fee plus pay a $200 bill before I can even tell them that I don't want the cable anymore.
How
So,
much is your cable? Holy Christ!
well, it's the cable and the internet and the phone together.
Oh
And I
yeah,
have like the fastest internet, so it's just
yeah, but isn't your internet? Isn't your internet now like data capped, or you paid for that to get it off,
yeah. I
right?
had to pay $30 also to take the freaking data caps off because I keep going over the data caps every month because of the all the podcasts and all that stuff. So, just makes me mad.
I don't blame
Whatever.
you.
Yeah, so it's just like, well, if you're gonna charge you for these data caps, I don't want the cable
It,
because it's getting ridiculous.
yeah, if we ever get data caps up here, the cable's gonna be gone.
Yeah, it's ridiculous because you have to almost do it. Even if I didn't do the podcast, I don't even know if I played games more, I would probably still run into that same problem.
Well, it's like
So,
if you downloaded more than two PS4 games a month, you're screwed.
oh really? That's yeah.
What, like 60 gigabytes?
Yeah, well, it's a 300 gigabyte cap.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, like when I was having to do the that thing where I was having to basically re-download all my games onto
New
the
hard
new
drive?
hard
Yeah.
drives in about 4 days. It told me I'd reached the limit, and
Yeah.
that's when I said, "Well, screw it. I have to get this unlimited thing because I'm not paying $500 for you know cable and internet and all that." So
Once Google Fiber becomes like nationwide, though, Comcast is screwed.
yeah, I think that's why they're gonna try so hard to get that delayed as much as they can because
It's like, as opposed to offering better service, we're gonna try to kill this thing that's gonna be good.
yeah.
Good plan.
Uh, well, we'll have to see. I just that's just, I don't have $300 on me to just go, yeah, let's just all do all that. So it's like I either have to keep paying for it or figure out some other freaking way. Because they wanted me to pay the $160 just to talk to them about how I could lower the cable down to the lowest tier even. And
Oh,
I was
are
just
you
like,
in a contract though?
yeah, they stuck me in a contract. That's the
Oh, that's
problem.
why. Yeah.
So that I could have all the bundle and everything. It was just like, ugh, whatever. But so we move on from that to we talked about the division. We talked about it being the Uh, Best new game franchise, barely edging out Destiny for selling 330 million in its first 5 days. I really didn't think the division would sell that much, and it's pretty
I kind of
awesome.
did. Like buzz was building around it. There's nothing else out right now, honestly. Uh, like even the winter or the winter is kind of a dead. Like Christmas wasn't exactly like a big season anyway for new properties.
Yeah, you're right. I mean,
So it's new thing. It's a unique thing, I would say, or interesting. So sure, why not?
yeah, and it's different than some of the stuff out there. I mean, like you don't have that many Destiny type games going around, at least for consoles. So that's a plus for it. And you have other games obviously out there. I mean, this month has already been pretty big for games. I mean, you got uh, Pokken Tournament coming out in a day, and a few other games as well already. So it's just this is going to be interesting going into March, April, May, and all that. But in April, you'll be getting the first incursion, which is what they call raids. Uh, I'm sure you're excited for that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they raise the level cap at all, or if it's just gonna be 4 people.
I would imagine that they would probably try to keep it to that low number because then when you start trying to have a bunch of people at once, you get to the problem of, well, am I ever going to have 10 people that I know?
Yeah, that's true. I barely have 3 people playing right now.
Did you add Randall in there, or
I think I sent a friend request to him today.
I'll let him know?
I thought he was already on my list, but I guess he wasn't. So
Yeah, I found out the same thing. I was like, I swear I added him. I guess not. And they're going to add in another Dark Zone thing in May, and they're going to have 3 expansions. So,
yeah, I think if I really get into this game, I'll probably buy the season pack next month.
are you interested in any of the expansions or whatever that, like, I think one of them's called Underground, the other one's called Survival, which adds like Horde mode,
Ugh.
and the other one's The Last Stand, and there's some new threat or something like that.
The animals, they're infected and they're taking over.
Yeah, exactly.
Planet of the Apes style.
Everybody grew 10 sizes too big or something ridiculous like that. Uh,
The one thing I'll say about the Division is there's not a lot of customization in the game at all.
I imagine so, just because they want to keep it grounded in reality. So
Yeah, well, there's only like there's only 7 faces, which is fine, like honestly fine. But you can unlock outfits and not outfit, like clothing options, and 99% of them are incredibly drab.
that sounds
Like
great.
I'm wearing a hat that is like blue and red, and someone I was playing with earlier tonight was like, "Where did you get that hat?" And I was like, "I honestly have no idea."
They wanted your hat that bad, just because
Yeah,
they.
because it's colorful. Like everything in that game is gray or black.
Well,
Even,
I mean, it's supposed to be sad times, I guess,
yeah, but you're
right?
picking up random clothes. It's like there's no red except for blood.
Yeah, you'd imagine there'd be somebody that had something like bright on,
Garrick,
especially if,
yeah. I want like,
especially if you're talking about modern day where everything is freaking bright colored at this point.
especially New York.
Yeah,
That's the thing. Like I want to be wearing like a Joker hat or something, like one of those like stupid Cat in the Hat hats.
that would be awesome. Just walk around with Cat in the Hat hat.
Big Rastafarian hat.
uh, so, do you are you interested in Battleborn at all?
Is that the Blizzard one or
No,
the
that's the 2K one.
yeah
That's like a
the
MOBA shooter.
yeah Randy Pitchford's company, whatever the hell they're
Yes.
called.
Yeah,
No,
Gearbox. Yeah.
no, Gearbox, no. They are too schizophrenic as a developer.
Yeah. Well, they detailed their season pass, which the game already includes 25 characters, so they're going to have 5 more for free, and there's going to be some PvE stuff, and the season pass only costs $20, and yeah, you can get more characters and other stuff. So, and
Sure.
interestingly enough, Blizzard decided on the same day that Battleborn comes out, May 3rd, they decided to have their beta, which then made the people at 2K get all flustered.
Yeah, I saw
And
that. That's funny.
so I was like, wow, really? Y'all were that worried about your game? That
The buzz about Battleborn has not been good, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, it just kind of died. It's like, all right, I
It
mean, I've heard a lot about Overwatch, but
like the thing about Battleborn is it looks like a low rent version of like Team Fortress 2.
that's not good. But isn't that what Overwatch is too?
Yeah, but that seems higher, like better produced at least.
Yeah, because at least you know with Blizzard, you know what you're getting. Weird. But it is what it is. Speaking of Blizzard, Hearthstone has another expansion, 134 new cards, called Whispers of the Old Gods. And I could not tell you one thing about it because I've not played Hearthstone in like forever, and I still only have the one Curse from Naraxis thing. So,
They're trying to catch up to Magic the Gathering.
seriously, that's what it sounds like. God, I feel like every, 4 or 5 months they have a new expansion. Just ton of stuff.
The funniest part though about this is they announced that like they're splitting Hearthstone into 2 modes essentially. One is going to be like you can use all your cards in this one mode, like for multiplayer, and
Yeah,
the other one is
called
just going to be
Wild
like
or whatever.
yeah, the other one is going to be like classic Hearthstone, and it's like so this expansion is going to be only for one part of this game.
Yeah, that's really weird. Uh, yeah, it's gonna bring the standard Hearthstone format, and those who play standard with Whispers of the Old Gods will even unlock new quests for the rank matches.
Ooh,
So, yeah.
get
I
a
think you can use the cards from this thing in the wild mode.
oh yeah, well, that's what
Yeah.
I'm talking about. But you can't use it in classic mode.
No, you can. Because
Okay.
that's what they're bringing is that you can play it in the stand or whatever. I think with the standard is that they're going to have cards that they're going to remove completely,
Oh,
and they're going to call it classic or whatever. I don't know. Just whatever. It's just getting to the
yeah.
point where I'm just like, all right. You gotten way too complicated for me at this point.
Once
Uh,
Magic introduced phasing in the Mirage expansion, and if you're an old school Magic player, you know what the hell I'm talking about. That's when I checked out, and this is like I checked out of Hearthstone way faster than that.
I've only played the game, like the 2014
Planeswalkers,
game. Yeah.
those
So
were okay.
right.
People were pissed that you couldn't build a deck, but it's like there are 4,000 cards in Magic. Like, calm down.
Yeah, you don't want to be building out of 4,000 cards.
Like, I think those games only have 200 cards. I would say, if that.
Right.
But they're all well balanced and stuff, so it's fine.
Yeah, I just had certain, like, the AI was just whooping my ass. It's just like, okay. Got to a certain point, I'm not playing anymore because I do not know enough about this Magic.
I made in Magic. I was playing like I think the 2002 version of that game, and I made a creature that was 124 attack and 121 defense.
Wow.
It was awesome.
I'm going to guess you owned everyone with that.
I was just playing against the AI, but I wouldn't attack because it's like and it had trample, so it's like if I attacked once, the computer would be dead.
Nice. So, EverQuest next. After all this stuff from Daybreak, buying the EverQuest, and they bought PlanetSide 2, which I have heard nothing of PlanetSide 2 since
Is it
that
still
thing.
going on?
Yeah, is that still happening too? I'm surprised we're not hearing about that getting canceled.
I was asked to review that game. I played it once, and I was like, no, I'm good, thanks.
Was it actually good or
No.
it was bad?
Oh, it was right when I was trying to upgrade from like Windows 7 to Windows 8, and gamepad support didn't work. I
Oh,
was like,
you're like,
later.
nope, forget that. Uh, yeah. So EverQuest Next canceled because it was quote not fun and would not meet expectations. However,
I
EverQuest 1 and 2 are going strong apparently.
I at least appreciate like their level of honesty and not going like, oh, we tried our best, like we know, we just didn't have the vision that like this bullshit Fable thing was talking about or whatever. It's like, no, the game is bad. We're done. Later.
Right? Yeah, and that's exactly. I mean, I guess we might as well get to that with. I mean, this is obviously old at this point, but when we were going to originally do the podcast last week, this had just become big news with Fable Legends getting canceled, Microsoft shutting down Press Play, and then they confirmed that they've shut down Lionhead?
Well,
Or
apparently in the UK you just can't shut a company down. Like you have to go through administration.
yeah,
But yeah, it's done.
Sony actually is offering Lionhead people to come meet them uh, at a recruitment event in England. So Sony jumping right on that.
I know they won't do it because they're like assholes about Steam. But I would appreciate it if Microsoft just put all of Lionhead's old crap on Steam. It was like, here, it'll make
That'd
some
be
money.
great.
Like
Like put
Black and
yeah,
White 2,
put
maybe
all
port
the
Fable 2 to PC. Like that wouldn't be too hard, I don't think.
is
And just
what like
say
Fable 3 on.
Fable 3 is on PC. They removed it off of Steam. I wonder why. But yeah,
Yeah,
I still
I
got
mean,
Fable 3 in my Steam account. Won't take that from me, fuckers. I actually like Fable 3. That's the only Lionhead game I've liked.
I have Fable 3 as part of the Games for Gold. I think that is the one that I played for a little bit. I liked it. It was just
I didn't like Fable 1 or 2 at all. I really dislike Fable 2, actually. That's one people say is like the best one.
right.
That's the one that screwed me up, though, because it's like, that had time jumps in it. So, like, you start as a young boy, you time jump to, like, you're a teenager, you time jump to you're an adult. So as an adult, I got married, and I think I had a kid, and I did a story mission, and it's like, I time jumped 10 years in the future. So I'm, like, middle-aged, and I'm like, what the hell? What happened to my wife?
Well, just disappeared all of a sudden. Have to love when that happens. So I know I was sad. I know you had to be sad when Alan Wake is going to be part of Quantum Break, but you're only going to see him in some kind of like special Easter egg or whatever. He's not even coming back as a game.
No, I know what they're going to do. They're going to have, like, a TV show. Because they had that in Alan Wake originally. They had that, like, late
Oh
show.
yeah, where you could see and the
Guy, like,
bad guy would come and interrupt the TV show or whatever and tell you stuff.
no. Well,
Yeah.
that might have been American Nightmare, but in the first Alan Wake, it was like there was like a really cheesy looking late night talk show where they interviewed Alan Wake, the guy who's playing Alan Wake. Like he was in character for like 5 minutes. Then
Right.
they panned over to Sam Lake, and they were like, "Do the face real quick," and he does the Max Payne face for like 2 seconds, and it's awesome. And then they're like, "All right, and we got Poets of the Fall here, and it's a band Poets of the Fall, and they're just in the background." And they're like, "All right, we're done. Bye." And I know that's going to be exactly the same thing in this game. They'll have like a little Easter egg, like a little full motion video Easter egg, and that'll be it.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to see Alan. I'm sure it will come back as a game. I think they're kind of just trying to test things right now, as far as if that's going to be viable for them or not. And of course, they also want to make sure Quantum Break sells, which that's your number one priority at this point. Which hopefully it does when it comes out in a little bit less than 3 weeks or so. Nintendo also has had that big direct that, well, it wasn't really big, but they had quite a few things come out of it. Of course, they did confirm the whole stuff about Star Fox Zero, and that it will come packed in with Star Fox Guard, which is one of the little mini games that Miyamoto was working on when you saw it at E3, I want to say 2 years ago. And it's a game starring Slippy
I
and
was right.
Slippy's uncle Grippy. Freaking Grippy. Seriously. Does he get Grippy on those buttons? I mean, like, it's so Grippy is apparently in this little like surveillance thing, and it's almost like a create your own way to like take out the enemies or something with the cameras. It's sort of interesting. What do you think of this?
It's tower defense.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
But don't they have it to where like you can share it online too? Wait, so people can kind of like Mario Maker, you can go through and try to defeat the tower defense part on your own.
Sure. I mean, we'll see if it's good. But what they need to do is they need to make a Ni no Kuni crossover game and have Drippy in it.
Slippy, Grippy, and Drippy on the same game. You can actually buy them together at retail. Actually, it comes packed in at retail for $60. You can get it separately, digitally if you don't want the game, and you can get that for $10 as well. So
I was just happy I was right.
And it also seems like I was interested in the whole Star Fox thing with the different routes that there is, and you can have a two-player mode too.
I was interested when they said that you can't, like, there's a mode where you can't die. It's like, if you're a complete idiot, you can't play this game. Here you go.
Yeah, because the only time I could never beat frickin' I think I might have done it one time, beat Star Wolf and his people on that one level.
Yeah.
But other than that, I never died in that game. It was way too easy to freaking die.
The only level that's actually a problem, and Star Fox 64 was the underwater level.
Yeah.
Because that was badly designed.
Right. And then sometimes the tank level, if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, but I thought that was fun.
Yeah. Then they decided to make a whole game about that, and that's when it went south, of course. There's Paper Mario Color Splash, which looked interesting. I guess it's going back to sort of the old Paper Mario.
How about a Mario RPG 2?
Come on, Square. You're doing it with Disney. Why not with Nintendo?
Like, I guess the Paper Mario series is fine, but imagine if they just announced like Mario RPG 2, like Mario, Mallow, and Gino are coming back. It's like, yes.
Awesome.
The final bad guy is going to be Waluigi.
They added new stuff to Mario Maker. Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games comes out June 24th for the Wii U, which includes rhythmic gymnastics and rugby sevens. Interested in playing the rugby game. I've actually liked some of these games. So
aren't there like 4 of them out now?
Yeah,
it's insane.
They've had them since I think like 2008 or 2006. So
it's like, I guess for Mario it's fine, but look how far Sonic has fallen.
I don't mind it for Sonic, because at least it keeps him in the consciousness. But
well, at least he's in a halfway decent game.
Yeah, exactly. And they're still doing stuff to Splatoon, apparently. So
That's
That's
cool.
good.
Yeah.
I'm guessing this is now. So is this officially the um whatever that Shimigami X Fire Emblem? It got switched to this Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE or hashtag FE or whatever the hell it is.
You're asking me?
I I don't know. All I know is it includes idols and it's an RPG. You can imagine it will
Um,
include Fire Emblem references.
unless it has Jack Frost in it, I'm not interested.
I
Even if he's in it, I'm not really that interested. I like Persona and Nocturne. That's about it.
uh this Lost Reavers game, I don't know what to make of it. I'm just kind of it is what it is
Yeah.
at this point. I guess it could be good. It comes out April 14th uh, in beta, and you can get the full version April 28th for the Wii U. One of the big surprises was this Kirby Planet Robobot, which I'm a huge Kirby fan, so anytime we can get Kirby, I'm good with that. They're gonna make new amiibos for it,
Of course
which
they are.
and you can even use like amiibos from any of them, and you can get the power that's associated with that amiibo. So, like, if you use Link, you get the sword, and Mario get the fireball, all that. So, it's an interesting way to use the amiibos, at least. And you can have 4 players play, too. So,
Imagine if you're working on that thing, or like that Yoshi Yarn game, or whatever the hell it's called.
yeah.
Like, how much time you have to devote to this amiibo crap now?
Yeah, you had to actually make it to where every single amiibo worked, and all this stuff, you know. So, it's just like, wow.
Like,
Okay.
you have to wonder if there's like the actual game developers, and then like this amiibo team that's going from different game to different game to go like, this is what you can do.
Hey, at least they're figuring out what to do with it. Another thing that I think nobody knew about was the Monster Hunter Generations, which is a new Monster Hunter game coming out for the 3DS. And you also get like this is something Monster Hunter does a lot. They have different armor from they had I think Link and stuff like that on 4. So you'll get stuff from Marth on I think if you pre-order or something. Um,
Everyone's favorite character, Marth.
yes. Exactly. I'm not a big Monster Hunter person, so uh, yeah. Um, I do love Rhythm Heaven though, so having the Rhythm Heaven Mega Mix thing is awesome. Pretty much like WarioWare, all that kind of just funny crap in one thing together. Can't go wrong. Uh, and then they showed off Metroid Prime Federation Force.
Which looked bad. Like, that game is gonna bomb horribly.
I mean, I don't know. I feel bad for them. Like
You know,
they,
you know, you know, what we were talking about earlier with EverQuest saying it's just not fun. They should just cancel this game and go, that's the reason.
I, I mean, they kind of sort of tried to shoehorn Samus in there into the story so that it sort of ties into her. But you're just playing these random uh, Galactic Federation Force people, and apparently has co-op, and you have different roles and stuff in it. I don't know. I remember watching it and going, okay.
That's the thing about Nintendo is, like, if you strip, like, take Mario Tennis for example. If you stripped the Mario license from that game, it would still be good. This thing is not good, and bolting Metroid onto it is not going to help.
No, certainly not.
In fact, it's going to be worse because you haven't made a proper Metroid game in 8 years.
Yep. It's
Because
been that long.
Other M was not exactly widely like well received.
And hey, I got a new Nintendo 3DS. I can now buy Super NES games on the Virtual Console.
All the power of a PSP right in your hand.
Yeah, just this seems very. They just totally shoved this in
Lied.
to
They
make people.
lied. They're
Yeah,
liars.
to make people feel like, hey, my new Nintendo 3DS, there's something exclusive to it. Oh, it's these old games that, I mean, I care about them. They're awesome. They were games of my childhood, but there's a lot of people that probably don't give two craps about the fact that,
No, there probably is, and they've probably already bought them at least one other time on the Wii or Wii U.
or who knows how many other times, like just because they can't just have one virtual console. They gotta, and then you just make it to where, okay, well, obviously certain games are only gonna work with just like, Sony does. They have a Vita, they have a PS3. Depending on what store you're in, you only see certain games. I mean, it's not that hard. Just I don't get it. I don't get what I like the first Azure Gunvolt, so that's cool that they're making a second one. But I think that's they also did this cool thing. I think with the if you have the original Hyrule Warriors, you can pay something a certain amount. I think it's maybe half of whatever the 3DS game costs, and I don't know if you get the 3DS game. I think they make it to where you can get the extra characters in the 3DS game onto your Wii U game or something like that. I don't know. So Nintendo again trying to get you to buy two games. Super Smash Bros. I understand. Uh, this I don't know. But hey, Dead Island 2 is back in development again.
Hooray.
You excited about that? Sounded like. Did you play the Dead Island games at all?
I
Or
played the first one. It got worse as it went on.
that sounds like such a ringing endorsement. There you
Well,
go.
like the thing is the first area was that beach, like the beach part. That was awesome. And then it moved into a bunch of like crappy streets and like very tightly enclosed sewers, and I'm like, I'm done. Later.
Nice. Uh, Nintendo, there's apparently a rumor going. Well, I don't know how valid this rumor is anymore. I haven't heard anything that says no either. About Nintendo possibly doing what they did with Bayonetta 2 with Beyond the Good and Evil 2 for the NX. Uh, I love the Beyond Good and Evil, so finally getting Beyond Good and Evil 2 would be awesome.
I don't see that happening just because I don't think Ubisoft would allow it.
You
Like,
don't think so?
I could see them doing timed exclusivity, like it'll be on the Wii U for a year, but or the NX, whatever the hell. But Ubisoft likes to put their games on everything. Like remember when Rayman or like Legends was going to be a Wii U game only, and they're like, no, we're going to put on everything,
Yeah, I do
regardless of
remember that.
regardless if it works well or not. It's going to be on everything.
Probably because they could already see that it wasn't going to do very well at all.
Yeah,
Well, there's a new Indiana Jones movie getting made, and Harrison Ford is still going to be acting in it. Uh, well, I guess you can smoke and mirrors, have him do stunt double, and
when he runs away from the boulder, he breaks his leg.
oh jeez, that's terrible.
Is John Rhys Davies going to be back? That's all I care about.
Maybe.
Is Sean Connery still alive? You can get him in there.
Yeah, he is. He's still. You can do it.
He's drinking his life away somewhere in Scotland.
So sad. I was named after Sean Connery, actually. No joke. That's what my dad said.
Move to Scotland, become like him.
He was, big James Bond fan, so that was.
See, my introduction to Bond was GoldenEye, so
I think I've watched From Russia with Love or whatever from his time period. All the other ones is Pierce Brosnan.
I have that
Yeah.
game on my debug Xbox.
Ah, I heard that actually that game is actually not too bad.
It's worse than the Everything or Nothing game, but it's like a very slight downgrade. And hey, if you like From Russia with Love, it's still fine.
Right?
But Everything or Nothing is good just because it was a new Bond game or new Bond story, and except for some dodgy female casting, it was still pretty good.
Ah, well, maybe one of those might check
But
out.
they're just gonna get Chris Pratt right for young Indy or
Wasn't that the whole deal at one point? They were trying to get him for that.
yeah, but him trying to anchor three different like movie series would probably be a little taxing for him.
Yeah, I could see that getting old for him really fast. Like that's you already got Jurassic Park, you got Guardians of the Galaxy. Just uh, apparently, Judge Dredd might show up in Guardians of the Galaxy. Did you
Why?
see that?
No, that can't actually work because Judge Dredd is a different comic, different. They're owned by different people.
I don't know. They were talking about it. I don't know. It's just like okay, really weird, but Guardians of the Galaxy, it's so weird they could pull it off. Well, speaking of pulling it off, what do you think of a Metro 2033 movie or a Thief reboot movie?
I made jokes about both. I hope the Thief movie's going to be about how he gets his blackjack.
No
And
idea what the reference is there, but
the blackjack is his club that he uses to beat people to uh, unconsciousness with.
oh boy.
Uh,
Um,
and the Metro 2033, it could be good, but the dude who did 50 Shades of Grey is doing it, so
oh man.
no, no. And they'll get Justin Bieber to be Atrum.
Oh god.
Artyom, that's it, sorry.
Totally ruined the movie. Have Justin Bieber.
Or
Uh,
I think I was joking with you, Edward Pattinson or Taylor Lautner, or they'll get that meathead, what's his, Sam Worthington to be it. And it's
yeah.
great. He can barely do an American accent, Australian fuck. Now he's going to try to do a Russian one.
I guess I just hope they wouldn't change too much of it. I mean, I think in a movie setting you could make that sort of work. Um, the drab setting sort of we've seen these kind of movies come out, so it's possible. Just
Well, I mean, look at I'm a few minds. Look at 10 Cloverfield. That was pretty good. That was in
mm,
a pretty drab setting. But a lot of these movies that come out about nuclear war or stuff like that, they're direct to DVD nonsense.
well, maybe they
like
can.
WWE Films put out a atomic war film a few years ago. It's
Oh God, don't remind me of that.
I
So,
I heard it was really well reviewed because
which
they didn't cast a bunch of wrestlers in it. They just produced it and they had real actors in it. I was good.
oh, okay. I think I know what you're talking about. I just don't remember exactly the name of it right now. But yes, well, that and the call that had Halle Berry in it. That was like their only other good one. Uh, so J.J. Abrams says that the Portal and Half-Life movies are still being worked on. So what comes out first, Half-Life 3 or these movies?
Uh, these movies because Half-Life 3 is never coming out.
They'll just never learn to count to three, those bastards. Do you think? Do you really think they'll just never come out?
Uh, I think it'll come out eventually, but it'll be so different from what people want that it'll just enrage people. Actually, no, I don't think they really give a fuck about Half-Life 2 anymore, honestly. They're just done. They have Dota. It's like
Yeah.
peace. And you know, like Left 4 Dead 3, when that comes out, that's not gonna have a story or anything like that. It's just gonna be, here are another 4 people running away from zombies.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have an attachment to because I never played the first two.
I played
But
Half-Life 2. I didn't like it. Like, it has not aged well. If you played it now, you'd be like, all right, why am I in this insane asylum for 2 goddamn hours?
uh, because
Like,
they're
the
crazy.
gravity gun is kind of fun to use, but that's about it.
Yeah. I mean, I know I have them actually in the orange box thing.
Oh yeah, everyone has them.
I
If you're on
just,
Steam, they pretty much give them to you for free.
yeah, I just never actually sat down to try to play them. They have officially confirmed Perseverance season 5. That's the last one.
Yep, that's a bummer.
May 3rd.
Well, I heard that what's her name? Uh, Sarah Shahi is going to be like the new Nancy Drew,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and I hope they just make her a lesbian and have her like make out with Amy Acker for most of it. Because I'd watch that. I'd really watch that.
I think a lot of people would probably watch that.
I'd keep cable to watch that.
Well, they'd have to put it on. Does CVS have an affiliate for?
Oh, you got that streaming network coming soon, so there you go.
Wow.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised Lucifer has not been canceled yet. Honestly,
Is it that bad?
it's no, but it's just like Constantine, like a dumb police procedural.
Was it better than Constantine then? I
It
mean,
has more going on, but I like the acting's not really that better. Like everyone except for Lucifer in the show is kind of annoying, honestly.
well, at least they nailed that. So, I mean, they could have done worse, I guess, and made Lucifer bad.
And CW renewed all their shows.
Yeah, I saw that. It's not like that's gotta be a first time in like forever that they've renewed all their shows. They
Well,
normally cancel one.
it's the first time they've had shows that are doing well.
They've actually hit a really good string of them, like with iZombie and all that stuff, you know. And
Who knew making shows based on comic books does well, and genre shows.
yeah, exactly. And having yeah, and they even announced the crossover with Supergirl for the Flash. So,
I'm still watching Supergirl.
you
Yeah,
like it?
I like parts of it. Like
What parts of it are you?
like the action is fine. It's low budget, but it's mostly fine. And some of the character beats are okay, but it's just too soap opera-y for me. It reminds me a lot of Smallville, and that's not exactly a good thing.
I thought they were trying to avoid that.
Well, not in context, but I just mean like all like the melodrama.
Yeah,
Like the Flash has some, but it doesn't get like bogged down in it. And like Legends of Tomorrow is too busy having fun to care about that stuff at all anyway.
right. Do you what do you think about this rumor about Daisy Ridley being Laura Croft?
Uh, it's fine, I guess. She wouldn't be my first pick. I mean, but that's just me.
I just think of like the way that Star Wars started. She was sort of already doing Laura Croft type stuff. Kind of, I almost thought I was watching Tomb Raider for a second when I was that first part of when you first see her.
Oh, exploring the spaceship and
Yeah, all that.
yeah, I mean, my first two picks obviously would just be Haley Atwell or Camilla Luddington, honestly.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they wouldn't just try to use the same person that already does her in the games.
I think there are, well, Haley Atwell might be too. I don't want to say sexy, like curvy or anything, but she's not quite built like how a Laura Croft should be. I would say, like she's a little too solidly built for the role, and that's weird. Like I don't mean like she's not ugly or anything, obviously, but they've always wanted to like have Laura be like kind of very slight.
Yeah,
Seems like,
yeah,
at least in the
especially
games.
now with the way she looks now.
And Camilla Luddington, I think she's just too small potatoes of an actress to do it. Like
Man, she should though.
if you ask 10 people who the fuck like who's Camilla Luddington, they'd be like, who? Like some people might still watch Grey's Anatomy, but not many anymore.
Oh, there's probably still quite a few that watch it. I'm sure.
But and like, I mean, obviously Daisy is it Riddle or Ridley or whatever?
Ridley,
What is it?
yeah.
Okay, I mean she's obviously like a bigger star now, or she's like actually well known now because she wasn't before. But
Yeah, nobody knew who she was before.
I guess
So.
it all depends. Like I'm still not even sure if she's like a great actress.
Yeah, but I don't think you have to necessarily be great to do Tomb Raider. I mean, yes,
Hey, they got Daniel Craig in the second one. But no, but you're right. I mean, it's just going to be like a dumb, you know, Indiana Jones for woman or for as a woman movie.
yeah, probably, but
I did my my only hope is they don't over like dress her skimpily or anything like that.
I don't think they're gonna do that.
I think well, didn't the first movie have like Angelina Jolie in like a wetsuit or like that?
yeah, but that's Angelina Jolie. I mean, she might have had input in that, like just to, and I think that's also whenever that's the other version.
Yeah, that was like the buxom, like
Yeah,
sexualized version. Like she's still kind of sexualized in like these games, but not overtly so, at least.
no, and they actually have her more like normally proportioned and everything else.
Yeah, she doesn't
Unlike
have
it.
boobs jutting out like 8 feet in front of her.
Yeah, exactly. Uh, so
Maybe they can get what is his name, Adam Driver, to be the bad guy.
yeah, you never know. I mean, uh, Amazon is bringing back the Tick, which all I know is I'm sad that Project Warburton is
Yeah,
done.
that's
Yeah.
the bummer about this.
I liked it well enough. I remember the cartoon more than the actual.
See, I remember I have very few memories of the cartoon. Like I used to watch it as a kid. I can remember like gags of it, but I had the Tick like live action show on DVD, and that was great.
What? So I've never seen it. So is it does it just have like a central? I'm guessing one central storyline for that show, or?
Oh no, it's like episodic as hell.
Ah, okay.
Like one of the episode I really remember is I think her name is Captain Liberty. She's like a Wonder Woman like pastiche.
Yeah.
She's like a chaperone or like a chauffeur or like a tour guide for this like super important superhero. He starts hitting on her. They have sex and she kills him and like when they're having sex.
I don't know why I always think that's funny in a movie, but honestly, if it happened in real life, you wouldn't want that to happen.
Well, and the show is portrayed as like such an ass. It makes it funny. And like the show had great casting. That was the other thing. Like, I mean, obviously Patrick Warburton's great, but Liz Vassy, who was Captain Liberty, I think her name was great. The other guy, what's his name? Nestor Carbonell, he was Batman Noel. He was great. He's been in a bunch of good stuff. So, yeah, it was a good show. No one watched it, but
Yeah, that's why I got canceled in one season. But
same with ever watch Greg the Bunny, the Fox show?
I've heard of it. I've never watched it. No.
It's like that show is weird to watch now because it's like Seth Green, Eugene Levy, Sarah Silverman, and Bob Gunton. It's like, all right, this is cool.
That's before Sarah Silverman's like show.
Oh yeah,
Right?
way
Yeah.
before.
So
It's
that's
like,
the only thing I've ever seen her in, other than that the old movie. Shoot, nah, I can't think of it, but it's like from '94 or something like that. It's just she locks them in the freaking locks one of the guys in the basement or something, and she's crazy, and I don't.
weird. Never heard of that one.
I'm probably thinking of like three different movies in one or something right now.
That sounds like Teaching Mrs. Tingle, which was awful.
Ugh. So speaking of awful, many people think that the Harley Quinn that's going to be in Suicide Squad looks awful, and she swears up and down that they tried every single costume on her.
If that's the case, I want to see actual evidence of that.
And she hopes that in the next one they'll do the Court Jester one, which is obviously her most famous one. But
Like, I like Harley Quinn as a character. I don't like the fan base around her.
why?
And I feel that way about Deadpool also. There's a lot of big asshole Deadpool fans. And the same about Harley Quinn. And it's like, no, the character was written kind of as a goof. And it's a little more serious now, but they're still kind of jokey characters.
Yeah, she was always kind of portrayed that way.
Don't
I
get me
remember.
wrong, though. The outfit in Suicide Squad looks awful.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It looks like a film, like a fashion school reject made it.
Oh, agreed. But I don't think it's totally out of place in like today's, if you're gonna think about something from today. So,
What? You mean to tell me a body tight Jester outfit, it wouldn't be from today's world?
no, but I mean, obviously you look at that and go, okay, that's obviously Harley Quinn. You know who that is. So, I mean, it's so weird as if she's saying it. I kind of want to take a word for it, but I'm also not one of those people that's like, oh my god, it's got to be this way or it's terrible, and you know.
No, I'm not that way. I just like to see evidence of it, honestly, like a photo. You know, they had to take them.
Yeah, they had to take a photo of like her in every single one.
Like I'm sure they did all the Arkham Knight or all the Arkham game costumes and
Yeah,
a million of other like variants in comics.
right. I mean, what I remember her is always in that outfit. So the Batman Beyonds and all the Batman cartoons. So it's weird, but
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. Uh, are you interested in the Luke Cage Netflix?
Oh yeah. Like Daredevil's good. That's coming back this week, I think, and like Jessica Jones is great. I really hope she makes an appearance in Luke Cage, though.
Yeah, he's gonna appear on September 30th on Netflix, so we still have plenty of time for that. Uh, Daredevil 2 is already out or gonna be out pretty
I think it's
soon.
coming out Friday because all the reviews have already been hitting.
Jeez, I still gotta watch the rest of one. But that's cool, like that they had him in Jessica Jones, and now you kind of get to see a different side of him or whatever in his. So, and I think they already cast the whoever's gonna be Um, why can't I think of it right now?
Iron Fist.
Iron Fist.
It's a
So,
white guy.
yeah, guys, we know it's gonna be a white guy. It doesn't really matter, I guess, unless they're gonna show him without the. I'm sure they'll show him without the outfit on. So
I'm betting he won't have that out until the last episode.
you think so? All the way till then?
Yeah, I think it's just gonna be like Daredevil, honestly.
Fair enough. Uh, are you? I love Peter Capaldi, so I'm happy that he's probably gonna stay on after Moffat leaves. Uh,
About him, like, him staying on Doctor Who.
yeah.
I can see why he might want to leave though. Like, not. I mean, he probably obviously loves that role, but he is. I mean, not as old as some doctors have been. But that's a pretty physically demanding role.
Right, and you don't know what the next writer and all that's gonna demand of you.
Like,
So
think about how much he's been running around the past few episodes.
yeah. So
Like, I mean, compared to like old Doctor Who, like the old series is like the Doctor never like was quick or anything like that.
no, even did they really even hardly run around, honestly? So
They didn't have the budget to run
yeah.
around.
So how do you feel about long movies? Because apparently Captain America: Civil War and Batman vs Superman are going to be long.
Well, I'm not going to see Batman vs Superman, so that's fine. But should I just bring a cup into the theater for Avenger or for Captain America? So if I need to take a piss, I can just do it covertly or
Yeah,
something.
because it's almost going to be 2.5 hours, and then Batman vs Superman is going to be 2.5 hours. And this is without the previews, so you could literally be in the theater for 3 hours for those movies almost.
Start wearing a catheter to films.
Yeah. Like, that's why I never watched Interstellar in the theater, because I was like, I am not sitting here for 3 hours.
That's why I like Deadpool, or not Deadpool. Yeah, actually Deadpool. It was only like 2 hours long. Even it was only like an hour and 45 minutes, I think. Actually,
Well, that's what it needed to be. Deadpool doesn't need to have the,
but
you know.
Captain America is introducing a lot of characters.
I have Patrick. I don't know why they're doing this. Two of they co-host the show that I produce or whatever, the wrestling retro review show. They're talking about. I think you made this joke last time about somebody offering Jodie Sweetin a Fuller House porn parody so they
Oh
can
yeah.
just see her tits.
Well, I showed you that. Did I show you that Jim Norton video of her?
Yeah, you did.
That's hysterical.
Yeah, he's sitting there
He's the
staring at her
greatest.
tits the whole time. Yeah, the cool thing is she played it off. Like, it's not, because she could have been really
Offended or
offended about it. Yeah.
bitchy about it. Yeah. Which I'm glad she's like from that interview. I actually found the whole like radio interview and listened to it. She comes across as like very like fairly normal.
Yeah.
Which is surprising considering the rest of that cast has gone insane.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like, well, you always thought Gibbler was insane, and
Well, Candace Cameron's not like a religious nut, but just like her brother. And
yeah,
let's be honest, Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen aren't exactly like
yeah, the
paragon
modicums
normality.
of,
Yeah.
It's surprising that Bob Saget decided to come back and do the show
He wants money.
at all. Yeah, of course he wants money.
But like I guess Jodie Sweetin, like she had her like drug problems. Obviously, she got
Right.
fake boobs that look awesome, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe she'll get more roles out of this, and then we at least, like we said, we already talked about, they're getting us, season 2. So at least they got that going for them.
Whereas the
Well,
Family Matters sequel,
man, I'd love for Jaleel White to come back and that happen. It didn't Carl die though?
oh no, he's still around.
Okay, I thought I'm thinking of some other show. It's Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil's
Yeah,
the one that
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Uncle Phil passed away.
yeah.
I think
Okay,
2 or 3 years ago. I actually downloaded that show.
that show's awesome.
The
I
full
love
run,
that show.
all 6 seasons. This
Man,
is what having
yeah,
unlimited internet can do for you.
I used to love watching that show. That and like I don't know why I watched that and Living Single every
Yeah.
all the time.
Well, back in the day, you only had fucking 5 stations to watch.
Yeah, well, no, you had the I watched those on like channel 21 or whatever it was. Um, we had about like 10 stations, but still, you didn't have a whole lot to watch, you know.
Yeah, even back
So
then, the CBS still sucked. So
yeah, exactly. Not like now where they the number one station every year. Uh, so going into basically what's coming out Friday, and today Need for Speed PC comes out. So if you were waiting for the PC version,
yeah,
there you go.
I've got emails from that. I was like, like it's gonna take you to the red line. I'm like, yeah, all right.
The
Can you
red line.
can you pause yet? No, later.
Certainly. Pokemon Tournament comes out on Friday. I'm waiting for that. I've heard it's deeper than Tekken, and I've seen videos, and boy, it looks like it. There's a lot of stuff going on
Did you hear
in
about
that.
that Pokemon designer who died?
Yeah,
It's kind of a shame.
that's sad. I think he designed some of the games or whatever. It's
Who's there? I think I read a report. He did like 8 of the games because he's been there since like 2003.
Yeah, and the guy that did the Professor Layton levels, of course, he was 90 years old. Uh, all the Professor Layton puzzles, he died
He was secretly
today.
Professor Layton.
Who knows? I mean, it's supposedly that series is actually supposed to come out as part of his like puzzle making line or whatever that he already had, and they just decided to make this Professor Layton thing. And he's actually called the Puzzle Master um, because he has a best-selling quiz book that resulted in 22 sequels. It was made in 1966 and sold 12 million copies. And this is by 2001, so who knows how many copies they've sold now.
Yeah.
Uh, his name was Akira Tago. Um, so that's who knows what's going to happen with the Professor Layton series now, I guess.
Well, there's still at least 3 or 4 games back. So
Jeez. There's that many? My God. Uh, so Day of the Tentacle remaster comes out next week. I'm excited for that. It's the first PC game I ever played. Uh, that and watching my brother play freaking Orion and not
Master of
knowing,
Orion.
yeah, Master and not knowing what the hell was going on. And Republique Remastered comes out with a PS4 and Trackmania Turbo. You ready for that?
No, because I know we're not going to get it for review.
You don't think so? We get some obscure ones sometimes. Oh, it's Ubisoft, right? So no, we're not. Uh, and yeah, Mario and Sonic Rio 2016 the Olympic Games, the 3DS version. So there you go. Those are your new releases, and that'll pretty much do it for us here on the show. We had a lot to talk about, um, and we'll be back sometime next week with whatever news has come out then. You there? Uh-oh. I think this might be one of those times where we lost the microphone.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
There you go.
At least I waited till the end of the
Yeah.
thing to do it. So, well, that's pretty much it for the show again. For Mark and me, we'll see you next week. The top 5 that comes out on Friday will be top 5 MMA games.
Have fun.
Yeah, I'll have to figure out some kind of list for that. And what did you do your
I think top 8 games have viruses in them,
with
which is a weird topic.
the plot was about
Yeah.
viruses? Okay.
So like Resident Evil 2 and Plague Inc. and The Division.
And the 4PC should be up there. I don't know if he actually posted it or he waited. I had to do a last minute fill in for um, somebody on Games Fact and Fiction, so I wound up being in that too. So I did the whole round of columns this week. Mark 1 4PC, so
Go me.
yes, it is there. It's the thing about the PlayStation VR. Okay, well, until sometimes next week, everybody. See you later.
Later.